This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Today on CityCast Houston, Houston Restaurant Weeks is officially underway, and this annual tradition has become a foodie's dream, with over 400 of Houston's top restaurants putting together affordable prix menus. But with so many spots participating, it can be overwhelming. That's why I'm calling on Eater Houston's editor, Brittany Britto Garley, to give us her top recommendations for Houston Restaurant Weeks. It's Wednesday, August 7th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Hey, Brittany, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't wait to get your recommendations for Houston Restaurant Weeks. But first, you're originally from Maryland. You lived in places like Baltimore and DC, also abroad in Austria and Hong Kong. As someone who covers Houston now, how would you describe Houston's food scene compared to all of these other great places you've lived at?
Well, the term diverse comes up again and again every time I'm dining out. I would say even living in international places, Houston has some of the most authentic food that I have ever had. And I think it rings true that you can literally travel around the world just by dining in Houston and trying the different cuisines here.
All right, let's talk about Houston Restaurant Weeks. It's been going on for so long. For listeners who don't know, though, what exactly is it?
So for Houston Restaurant Weeks, this is actually the 21st year. So you're so right in saying that it's been going on for a very long time. Houston Restaurant Weeks collaborates with restaurants around the city to have these special menus for brunch, lunch, and dinner. And brunch and lunch usually runs diners around $25, while dinners, they're priced at $39 or $55. Really good prices. You're getting prix meals. You get to try new restaurants, and summers are super slow for Houston restaurants. These are like the dog days of summer. August, is super hot. So during these slower months, Houston restaurants are also getting some pretty good business.
I love hearing that, and such a tremendous impact on the city of Houston. I'm putting you on the spot, all right out the gate. Brittany, what is your top spot for Houston Restaurant Weeks? If a listener can only go to one restaurant, which one are you recommending?
Oh, that is so hard. I definitely have to think about that one. This Houston Restaurant Weeks, especially considering that the Michelin Guide is now here in Houston, you have Michelin inspectors going around trying the different restaurants. I'm saying go fancy while you can. Typically, the finer dining restaurants are pricier. So I'm saying maybe go to some place like Le Jardiniere. That is in the Museum District, actually in the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. French restaurant. It has 2 other locations in New York and Miami, and they already have Michelin stars. So I would say get in there while you can. The menu is really cool. It really highlights a lot of like produce and seasonal ingredients. So you're going to get like a citrus cured Pacific sea bass. You could do the whipped burrata, which is really refreshing during the summer. Yeah, it's a really fun and bright menu.
Ooh, that sounds so good and something definitely worth checking out. Now, the other great thing about Houston Restaurant Weeks is you get to check out restaurants that have been trending throughout the year. So can you give me a couple of restaurants that are quote unquote buzzy right now that we should go try out?
Buzzy. Okay. So I am really looking forward to trying Belly of the Beast. This is a James Beard Award nominated restaurant. Dinner here is actually only $39,
Ooh,
and you're
okay.
trying 3 different courses. You can start with something like the Little Gem wedge salad. I love a good wedge. They also have a tuna tostada or grilled peach burrata on toast. Second course, you're going to get like pork belly tacos or birria queso tacos, and you can end with something like carne asada or roasted chicken. I think that's a really good deal. I've heard people have never had a bad meal at this restaurant, so I think this is a worthy choice. I have also had a fantastic experience at Prime 131. This is a newer steakhouse by Ben Berg. I really think this is his best restaurant yet. It opened earlier this year. This place is really beautiful. It really does feel like you're in New York. So you're getting more than just food. You're getting kind of the vibe. There is live fire in the middle of the restaurant where they cook the steaks. There's sushi. So you can kind of get a sample of that for $55, and also end with one of their desserts. The Bosque cheesecake is really great, but I would also recommend going off menu for the lemon lime dessert, which has a really nice curd and meringue. So those are just some of the buzzy restaurants. We do have some others. I know we're going to dig into dinner, so definitely want to save those for that.
Yeah, here's a pro tip. When you are at one of these restaurants and you want to try something off menu, if you're nice to your waiter, you can tell them like, "Hey, I really want to try this." And they might just, charge you a little bit more to get that dessert and just add it on instead of paying full price. But you got to be nice. Like just ask them if they can do that.
Yeah, see if they're willing.
Yeah, so we're going to be digging into a lot of places, but are there places that are not so worth it to check out during Houston Restaurant Weeks?
So I kind of am going to bow out of that question and leave it up to the listeners, and let people really decide for themselves. I would say that there are ways to really look at the menu to see what is the best value or what's really interesting to you. So I would say, really assess what you value in a meal. I do think it's great to take advantage of the finer dining restaurants to kind of get a glimpse of that because those are typically the priciest menus out there. Go somewhere new where you think, oh, this could be a really interesting experience. I work for Eater Houston. We're always putting out the hottest restaurant maps, the newest steakhouses, the essential restaurants. Check some of those out and see if they have some really good deals.
I'll say, Brittany, ignore and avoid like the big chain restaurants during Houston Restaurant Weeks.
Yes,
I'll
that's a
say it
good
for
point.
you. I know what you're hinting at. I'll say it. I'll be the bad guy. They're great. They provide a lot of service to communities, but during Houston Restaurant Weeks, like check out some other places. I'll say for
Yes.
you.
Yeah, it's a good time to get out of your comfort zone and your box, this
Mhm.
month. Well, it runs through September 2nd, so you have almost a month left to go for these deals.
All right. One of the cool things about Houston Restaurant Weeks is their brunch menu. They introduced that a few years ago now. And that $25 brunch menu, restaurants are putting together some top tier menus. What's a good brunch spot for us to try?
Gosh. So if you haven't been there, which I know many people have, it's a classic. I think Brennan's is such a great deal. You can try its iconic snapping turtle soup or its gumbo yaya for the first course. And then second course, you have something like the Creole fried chicken sandwich, cochon de lait Benedict, which is pulled pork on a cheddar biscuit. Sounds so good. And they also have shrimp and grits and dessert. So you can get the beignets or the bread pudding. Dessert is my kryptonite, so any menus that are including dessert, I'm all for it. And that's great for brunch.
Their Creole bread pudding is fantastic. So, yes, I love that one. So, a lot of people love the dinner menus and they are great. I go for the dinners, all right, as well. But I've really started to go for the $25 lunch menu. It's become one of my favorites because one, you get a great lunch for 25 bucks, right? And two, you get to go support the restaurants when it's typically a little bit slower. So that's great as well. Give me a lunch spot that we should try.
Okay, if you haven't been to Ostia, I
Mm.
would definitely check it out. Lunch there is my favorite, whether it's Houston restaurant weeks or not. They have just during normal days, they have a family style meal, which you get to try a little bit of everything, but it's pricier. So lunch for $25, you're getting an appetizer like it's Caesar salad, which is also, a favorite in the city. And then you get a second course, like it's pizza, which it only serves during lunch. So this is very sought out. I'm told people are always asking for the pizza during dinner, which they cannot get. It's only for lunch or during brunch.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, their bucatini carbonara is so, so good. And I think that's a great deal for $25. And I would say even branch out off of, that Houston restaurant week's menu. Try some of its other dishes. I know for dinner it has its roasted chicken salsa verde. Completely worth it to add that on for lunch. That's on one of our iconic dishes maps because it's just that good.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
All right, now the heavy hitters. Dinner, $39 and $55 menus. There's two separate menus, okay? First of all, are they worth it?
I think so, because I think it gives like a sampling of what the restaurant has to offer. And especially when you go to these more expensive, finer dining restaurants, it can be intimidating to look at the menu and see all of these high prices and not really knowing what to order. So when you have this prix fixe menu for $39 or $55, you kind of have this structure to work within and sample a little bit of everything.
And they're putting their best of the best for that price, right? So you're getting something that people love or the restaurant knows is a top seller.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And I think it just it kind of whets the palate for certain diners. Like they're like, oh, okay, this is like the gateway. I'm trying this for the first time and now I'm really open to come back and explore more of the menu.
So let's jump into a $39 dinner menu that you recommend. What are you thinking? Where should we go?
So for $39, I would definitely say Belly of the Beast is worth trying. Cultivare is also a classic. You can start with a first course like it's ricotta dip. And of course, the black pepper spaghetti is on there, which is amazing. So worth it. It made me a believer. You can also try the local squash pizza if you're so compelled. And it does include dessert. So caramel panna cotta or a lemon pound cake. I feel like that's a really good deal for $39. And you get to try one of Houston's mainstays.
Wow. I didn't know they had a $39 menu. And yeah, I'm sold. That is great. Like you cannot eat there for just 39 bucks and get all of that. So hey, shout out to Houston Restaurant Weeks for helping us out on this one.
Yes, thank you.
Let's jump to $55. This is the heavy hitter. There are a lot of great places where we can really get the best bang for our buck. What are you recommending?
So I have quite a few. I really loved Misfer. I tried that regular menu. However, I saw that some of my favorite items. So this is an Indian restaurant in the Galleria area. You can do 2-course lunch or 3-course dinner. And so it highlights this like really delightful, delicate lychee ceviche Malwani fish curry. That's an Atlantic cod. It's cooked in a coconut sauce. And with all these really amazing seasonings. It goes great with naan or rice. I was just super impressed. And you are also paying for the ambiance here. This is one of the most beautiful restaurants in Houston. They import a lot of their decor from straight from India. The chef traveled through India, 29 states in India for about 2 years to compile this menu. So this is really special to try. I would say that. I would say Papa's Burrows Steakhouse downtown. If you haven't tried that, this is a perfect time to go. You can get an 8-ounce filet mignon or a 10-ounce dry aged New York strip, served with, mashed potatoes and green beans, kind of classic. And you don't want to miss the New York style cheesecake, which is on the dessert menu. I would also say 2 others I'm going to throw in there. Amrina in the Woodlands. It's another Indian restaurant. I think could earn a Michelin star. The chef Jassy, he worked in DC at a Michelin starred restaurant. Everything he makes is so, so good. Has really great chat. And I went to Makin last night, which is a finer dining restaurant that serves Thai. If you look at the photos, a lot of the dishes are basically plated in this very intricate way. And it can seem a little intimidating. So I think this is a great one that you go during Houston Restaurant Weeks and try it out. Because even though it does have that very special plating that's fine dining, everything packs so much flavor. So you're going to find curry forward dishes. You can enjoy a filet. It also ends with some really cool desserts, and you're also paying for the experience here. This is also another stunning restaurant. Everything decor wise is from Thailand. And it's just phenomenal. So I would say step out of your comfort zone and try these restaurants. They're amazing.
Wow. So you just set my next 4 Friday nights. I appreciate that. That sounds great.
There you go.
Yeah. And just $55 each, that is incredible. Brittany, one last recommendation. All right. Shout out to all my families out there. We want to take our kids to enjoy this as well. Do you have a great family recommendation for us?
Yes. And this family spot, it's great for adults. It's great for watching sports. 1891 American Eatery in the Heights. So I have 2 little ones of my own. I know how important it is to bring them in an environment that's welcoming, but I also want to enjoy the food. And this spot is pretty laid back, but it's got some really cool, comforting dishes. You can get lunch, brunch, or dinner here. It includes a drink and dessert. Kryptonite is chocolate chip ice cream sandwich or the apple bourbon bread pudding. I know I'm starting with dessert. My fault. And it's also offering so many deals outside of Houston Restaurant Weeks. So on the weekends, with a purchase of an entree, kids can score a meal for $4, and that's on the weekend. And there's also happy hour deals happening every day through August 11th for the Olympics. So you can take your family to watch some of the different matches that are happening, experience Houston Restaurant Weeks, and also, explore this Heights restaurant that really, celebrates the neighborhood.
That sounds fantastic. That sounds like a place to go with the family and enjoy it. They also have on their brunch menu concha French toast. So yeah, sign me up. I'm all
Oh
for
my gosh.
that. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Brittany, beyond all the great food and all these great menus, Houston Restaurant Weeks actually is doing some good for the city of Houston. What is that? What is the purpose behind this?
Absolutely. Every year, Houston Restaurant Weeks teams up with a local nonprofit. Houston Food Bank is who they're working with this year. And that nonprofit transforms every dollar into 3 meals for Houstonians experiencing food insecurity. So while you're dining, you're helping someone else. So this is kind of a multi-fold charitable and beneficial event for Houston.
Yeah, since Cleverly Stone started it, Houston Restaurant Weeks has raised over $18.8 million and provided 56.4 million meals to the Houston Food Bank. How incredible is that? And now her daughter, Katie Stone, runs Houston Restaurant Weeks. Cleverly passed away in 2020 after a fight with cancer. So go out there, eat, enjoy, and do some good in the city of Houston. You knock out multiple birds with your meals, right? So that's great. I love it. Brittany, thank you so much for all of these great recommendations. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you so much.
That was Brittany Britto Garley. You can read all of her work on Eater Houston with the link in our show notes. Now, do me a favor and share this episode with 3 friends who love eating out in Houston, but they always need new places. You can also subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Houston, for even more food recommendations. Thank you. That will do it for today. I'm Raheel Ramzanali. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.